Hello everyone, I am Dr. Nabi Hasan, Head Librarian at Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. I am moderating this session on OER and MOOCs case studies from the South Asian region. So before I begin, I would like to thank the SLA and Annual Conference Advisory Council for accepting our education session for SLA 2022 Source Forward. I also would like to thank the speakers of this session, Dr. Jagdish Arora, Dr. Mahendra N. Jadhav, and Professor Madhusudan for being part of this session. The theme of the session is OER and MOOCs case studies from the South Asian region. We are going to witness some interesting stories from our speakers for the SLA 2022 Annual Conference Source Forward. If you have any question to ask to the speakers or about this session or topic, you can post the same using SLA platform or can send an email to the relevant speaker or to the moderator. So before I invite the first speaker, Dr. Jagdish Arora, I would like to say a few words about him, although he need no introduction as far as this region is concerned, but I would like to say a few words about him. Currently, he is advisor, National Board of Accreditation India, a body which is also doing ranking for the nation India. And he has served 11 years as the Director of Information and Library Network Center, which is the highest body for library information sciences in India. So he has headed that organization as its director. He was the national coordinator for INDEST, NLIST and e-Shodh Sindhu Consortia. He is recipient of several national and international awards, including Fulbright Professional Fellowship, NDLTD Leadership Award, IASLIC Librarian of the Year, and ILA-Kuala Best Librarian Award. He was awarded a citation and memento for his contribution to digital initiatives for higher education by the Honourable President of India. In fact, he is considered as one of the prominent person in the world for e-resources movement, and he is considered as father of consortia movement, or you can say e-resource movement in India. So thank you very much, sir, for honoring us by joining this SLA Source Forward conference as a primary speaker. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nabi. So I'm making a presentation on my experiences of running courses on Swayam. So for a background, I would like to tell that I'd like to tell that these were the courses that were developed not for Swayam, but for e-learning. So, there was a project called APG Pathshala, which was funded by the Ministry of Education under National Mission on Education through ICT. And under this project, the ministry gave about 84 crores for development of content in 77 subjects. And one of the subjects was library and information science. We developed content in social sciences, arts, humanities, natural mathematical sciences. So in all, there were 77 subjects, and library and information science was one of the subjects. So we created a repository learning management system called EPG Pathshala. In this repository, all the contents were developed, were deposited. Now, if you look at the volume of work, it included 77 subjects. Every subject had 16 courses, which is 4 courses per semester. Total number of courses would be 77 into 60, about 1,232. And every course included 35 modules. So it was a gigantic task. About 43,120 e-modules were to be developed. The biggest problem that we had, the biggest challenge that we had, that most of the domain experts who volunteered for this exercise did not have any experience in content development. And especially when it came to, they were camera shy, they did not want to come and record their presentation. They had no experience in developing multimedia contents. So it was a huge problem. For a solution, what we did was we told that content creators or PIs that all you have to do is do what you can easily do. Write the content, write the e-text, and then you will be collaborated with a web designer or a instructional designer who would develop multimedia based on your feedback onto that. So every subject, we appointed a principal investigator. The principal investigator appointed 16 paper coordinators, and each paper coordinator in turn appointed content writers or authors. That would, there could be 35 content writers, or they could be 10 content writers taking multiple jobs. So we also had a team of content reviewers and language. The task of web designer or instructional designer was assigned to a third party who were to develop multimedia, who were to record the lecture given by the content writers, and who were to assign metadata, and finally upload the content into learning management system, that EPG Pathshala, which was developed by INFLIBNET Center. So if you look at the enemy ICT rule, there are 4 components of every e-module. One is e-text, that of course have to be written using word processing software by the content writer. Self-assessment, he has to prepare objective type question, multiple type question, true and false statement, and we make it a part of the learning module. He has to record his video recording of lecture to be done in a studio. And this service, like I said, is outsourced, where they also have to develop animations and graphics and other based on the storyline that content writer have to provide. Of course, the content writer also have to learn more in terms of links to other resources, links to multimedia resources, links to relevant resources. Now, the all content that was developed is now available in EPG Pathshala at INFLIBNET Center. The URL is given there. And the current status of the EPG Pathshala is that we have 23,000 e-text and videos. About 5,100 subject experts were involved in the process, and we were able to complete about 710 courses. Of course, the target was 1,232, which we could not do. And this included component of LIS, Library and Information Services, where we developed 395 e-text and 395 videos. About 200 subject experts were involved, and we have 16 papers came out of this particular course. Now, this was about EPG Pathshala. Everything is hosted, available. The government came up with another scheme called SWAYAM, which is a MOOCs promoted by Government of India, where they wanted to repurpose the content that we have already developed for EPG Pathshala and make it available through SWAYAM platform. To do this, they have done 2 things. One, of course, is the SWAYAM platform was developed. Another important thing was they came up with a regulation, the UGC, which is a component of ministry, developed a notification where they said every student can take up to 20% of a course from the site hosted on SWAYAM. He'll be getting credit for the course that he takes, and that credit would be counted in the course that he has undertaken in his own university. So this was a big decision that Government of India had taken. And for that, of course, university have to adopt the ordinances, make changes in their rules, regulations, and incorporate provision for transfer of credit from external sources. They have to select courses. They permit student to take the course and credit transfer. They have to designate a course coordinator within their university. would coordinate all kind of situation that students come across, disseminate information about availability of courses and about the courses that they have adopted. The course registration, they have to facilitate students to register themselves on the MOOCs, on the SWAYAM platform. And then they have to evaluate student register for MOOC courses based on quizzes, assignments, sessions, and final exams. So basically, they have to mediate, function like a mediator. Finally, they have to incorporate the marks of grade that the student obtain from this university which is offering these MOOC courses, and of course give equivalent credit to the student who earned these courses. So this was how universities can come up and adopt courses. About SWAYAM, the ministry provided funds to UGC for developing of e-contents for SWAYAM, as well as for repurposing 84 courses in 16 subjects. The Library on Information Science, 7 courses were used for adopting, re-adopting or repurposes. And these courses were run on SWAYAM in 17, 18 and 19. Of course, the digital library course continued in 2020, 2021. Even in 2022, I am offering that course. And we signed an MOU with Central University of Himachal Pradesh for credit transfer. Since INFLIBNET is not a university, we cannot do the, you cannot give the credit. So we have to sign up with the university who would transfer, who agree to transfer the credit earned on SWAYAM in the library and information science courses. So the courses that we had put on the SWAYAM included Knowledge Society, Information Sources, Systems and Services, ICT for Libraries, Management of Library and Information Center, Information Storage and Retrieval, Digital Libraries, and Informatics and Scientomatics. So these were the courses that we repurposed, make it available on SWAYAM. But of course, these courses were originally written for EPG Pathshala. Now, I'll just take you through the life cycle of MOOC courses. There are 9 steps. I'll be taking each of the steps one by one. So let us move to the next slide and come up. Just let's go through the cycle that we had gone through. First, of course, is course proposal and approval. We had to write a proposal, submit it to the UGC with as to why this course is suitable for MOOCs. So we have to give a course overview, target audiences, delivery mode, sign an MOU with the university, and get the fund release, and get the course approved by the national coordinator of the SWAYAM. So these steps one have to take initially. The second, of course, and very important step is content development, where we have to repurpose the content that has already been developed for EPG Pathshala. This included the 31 modules that we have written has to be chunked into 2 to 3 modules for every week for a course that is to be delivered in 15 weeks. We added video on course introduction. We added video on weekly course introduction. We introduced activities, 4 activities and 4 questions every week. And we prepared weekly assignment and question, mostly one-liners, and prepared self-assessment course. In fact, we prepared a question bank so that if a student assesses himself, every time he should be getting a different set of questions. This was the intention. And the course website was designed. In fact, web page was designed to present a summary of course content, course duration, prerequisites, instructions, and how to enroll, etc. Third, of course, I've already mentioned that the consent from a university has to be obtained, that the course is recognized, and the student who undertake the course would be get it credit, or he will be issued a certificate for taking up the course. The fourth step is the course on digital library was announced on SWAYAM, and the following contents were uploaded on the course website of SWAYAM: course introduction video, weekly introduction video, course content in course library, and arranged in a fashion that it is delivered as per the schedule. The embedded video was available in YouTube, so that was embedded into the content. Self-assessment question and exercise for each module were uploaded, And activities and assignment for every week for internal assessment was also mentioned. So after announcement of the course, students were invited to enroll themselves to the course through social media, email, formal and informal arrangement. We also wrote to the university that let your student enroll for the course en masse. So that you will have one less course to offer and one can just mediate into it. Invite co-faculty to handle the course because students have to be kept engaged during this period. Deliver the course through SWAYAM as per schedule. This is one of the interface where you can manage students and look at their activities. Such kind of interfaces are available. The sixth step is the students have to be actively engaged through forum and chat. So we send messages to the student and other regular notification to learners through SWAYAM platform. What we encounter, the kind of problem that student encounter has to be addressed. Students were asked to start the discussion where the course coordinator can moderate and further the discussion. There's no inbuilt facilities for real-time interaction. These video conferencing platforms such as Zoom, Google Meetings, WebEx, that facility is still lacking. Queries from the learners was addressed by the fellow learners as well as by the coordinator. Continuing with the student activity, learning progress of the learners could be viewed by student and coordinator. There was a student dashboard and coordinator's dashboard.
Sir, may I request to please? Yeah.
Okay. Fine. So, of course, there is a proctored examination where there are two components. One is that whatever users have used, I mean, the self-assessment and reading those material, there are a number for it. And of course, there is a proctored examination. The assessment is done. Objective type of questions are assessed automatically, whereas there is an online platform called Trackmark, where the coordinator can examine the scripts online using Trackmark. Of course, finally, the credits are transferred or certificate is given to the user. This is the statistics about how digital library, how many students it has attracted, how many active learners, and how many students finally appeared for the examination. So my major observation is that SWAYAM platform is not fully compatible with four-quadrant approach used in NME-ICT. There is no separate module to accommodate learn more. Students face problem in uploading assignment. There is a restriction on number of words that can be used in the coordinator's feedback on the student assignment. Watching a video offline is not tracked and counted in the learning process. Student dashboard is not synchronized with the course coordinator dashboard. And the platform has improved considerably. Like I mentioned, there is a Trackmark and there is a facility called e-Shodh where you can put your question online and of course, script answer. I would conclude that SWAYAM provides a great opportunity to students to choose advanced courses that are not offered by their parent universities. As such, students should be encouraged to take courses on SWAYAM. Universities should be more proactive to identify advanced skill-based courses, build some hands-on experience around such courses, and ask students to take such courses. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arora, for your wonderful presentation. Yeah, such a wonderful presentation, but we have paucity of time. We have limited time. So our next speaker is Dr. Mahinder N. Jadhav, who is serving as librarian and head at Central Library, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Earlier, he has served on different important positions for over 20 years, including as assistant librarian at IIT Bombay. And he has implemented many projects on library management, digital library and open source software, and ICT application in libraries. He is the recipient of the Best Employee Award at IIT Bombay and at Directorate of Weed Science Research, Meritorious and Leadership Award at IIT Madras. Recipient of recently SLA Asia SciTech Librarian Award in 2021 and is currently the chair scholarly communication of the academic and education community of the SLA. Over to you, Dr. Jadhav. May please take care of the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nabi. And I just thanks to SLA Organizing Committee and my moderator for giving me an opportunity. I will present on open education resources who are in South Asia region and licensing part. See, my presentation contents are the introduction of OER, principle of OER, how to use copyright, and OER in South Asian region conclusions. So open education resources are learning, teaching, and research materials in any format and any medium actually that should be available in public domain or under the copyright that has been released under an open license that permit no cost access, reuse, repurposing, adoption, and redistribution by the authors. Open education resources believe everyone should have access to high quality educational experience as well as resources. OER are somewhat different from open learning in that they are primarily content, while open learning includes the content both education as well as OER education resources movement also drive in all the South Asian countries, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. And individual author institutions have created OER content on national and international level projects supported by the initiatives and governments. OER includes the open textbooks, course materials, multimedia, illustration software, and other tools, material, or techniques used to support access to the knowledge. See, OER and MOOC, there are many repositories available on open education resources, but some of the OER have minimum instructions other than by those who have created the original versions. There is also considerable confusion between free and open, which due to lack of clear licensing information on many OER. Coursera MOOC are free but not open. It is a breach of copyright to reuse the material in most Coursera MOOCs within your own teaching without permission if you use that. As per the David Willey, the pioneer of the OER, he has given 5 principles actually: retain, reuse, remix, revise, remix, and redistribute. Make and own copies, actually anybody can make own copies, distribute, share that actually. Use a wide range of example class in groups, adapt modality, combine or with more than to remix that actually, share with others. So these are the 5 principles basically given by David Willey. And when he is given 5 principles, how to use that? So by default, copyright is automatic and all rights reserved by original work creator, though the permission is required by those who wish to use the work. Why should you consider license? Copyright licenses issues are the primary concern over OER, as they have important implications for creators, users, and institutions. An open license is a license that applies to copyrighted content that allow any user to reuse that content without prior permissions. It's about an open license used to share educational material as long as open license is respected. The green ring is an open license logo. How to use that actually? I mean, there are actually Creative Commons license, 6 licenses are there. And many users, they created their content, they just put under the creative license. The license have been designed to offer flexible and straightforward tool for people who value access to use their work, even monetary incentives that can be copied, distributed, edited, remixed, and built upon all with copyright law. So there are 3 types of actually licensing, because basically this is depend upon your content. How is content? Legal code, like source code is there, human readable, machine readable. So depending upon your content, these are the 3 codes are applicable. Creative Commons license, there are 6 licenses are there. The CCL key elements are there. Attribution by, CC by, okay, share like CC by SA, non-commercial NC, CC by NC, non-derivative NC. So CC by NC SA, CC by NC ND, and CC by ND. There is another one, public domain dedication are there, CC 0. So these are the actually content available on public domains. Some of the free cultural works also available on the OER content. So that also they given with this green logo approved. And if not available, then they give the like star mark something, then this logo is there. So OER in South Asian countries, Afghanistan, one of the war-torn country actually, the Danish Library is an example of OER content. They are classified actually major 4 subjects. There are 11 types of resources are available, including glossaries. The main feature is the story waiver library where the translate the English storybook as Afghan language into Afghan language. This is actually, this is useful for young learners. This OER actually is in multilingual language. There are actually Afghani, Pashto, and Darsi, Farsi. The corporate content and open license is given up to the content level, not for exactly on the all, but depending on the content level, they given the different type of license. Now, this is screenshot of OER. These are the actually subject coverage in their actually OER Afghan Danish library. So this is also for this one of the actually means the open educational resources that translate into Afghani or maybe Parsi language, say from English. This is storytelling. See, OER in Bangladesh, Bangladesh Open University is the only public institution in the country that impart education in the distance mode. The Bangladesh government Minister of Education and UGC have taken up an initiative to create OER and also supported by the UNESCO and Commonwealth of Learning. So it offers these courses, major subject disciplines, and offer EUT PG degrees. It has more than 1,500 OER resources. The content on this site licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution 4 International License. So these are the screenshot of Bangladesh ebooks under OER. And they have also YouTube channel. All the content they have videos and it's available to the users. OER in Sri Lanka, the Sri Lanka government and UGC have taken initiatives with the help of UNESCO and COL. Open University of Sri Lanka Library Services is responsible to provide all OER services. The OER resources are ebook, videos, audios, encyclopedias, course materials, glossaries, and even though in different subjects meet your academic information levels. All the OER content are available under CC license. So this is a screenshot of OER of Sri Lankan libraries. Now, OER in Pakistan, Nepal, Maldives, these are the countries actually they are now initial stage. The Virtual University of Pakistan National Knowledge Foundation is Pakistan offering the OER with the help of supporting Commonwealth of Learning. But Nepal have implemented the OER project for school and higher education to get free access to knowledge through open learning. Actually, this UNESCO and Commonwealth of the Learning is in progress to provide the training to teachers and the educators how to create open education research in Maldives and Malaysia. So they are the initial stage and they getting training to how to create the OERs. So this is one of the screenshots of the Pustakalaya from Nepal. So these are the read, listen, watch, all these practice they given on the very format actually. These are the ebooks. This is actually training provided by the UNESCO and Commonwealth of Learning for the Maldives actually educators and teachers to create how to create the OERs. OER MOOCs in India, actually India is one of the most extensive academic systems in the world. So based on NKC knowledge recommendation and Government of India initiative, with the OER massive open access MOOC courses project under the NMICT, my earlier speaker, Dr. Jagdish Arora, just talk about Swayam Prabha, e-Pathshala, spoken to Sakshat, e-Gankos from IGNO, Karnataka government OER. So these are the many examples are there actually, and like Swayam Prabha, Swayam Diksha, Pathshala, spoken to. So all these actually resources are available under the Creative Commons license, different various license they used and they are made available all these courses for student learners. One of the major initiatives of all IIT, IISc, these are the NPTEL video courses are there. There are 2,300 plus courses are there, and you see there are 37 lakhs viewers are on that, and 1.3 million viewers with there actually. And these are the very good courses for engineering subjects across all IIT and IISc. One of the projects from IIT Kharagpur, they got National Digital Library of India. So they are harvesting data metadata from all across the state, and wherever the available are free and resources available, they create many subjects on, like you can see schools, college, engineering, many users they can access, and wherever free access they can they made available for them, they are registered and they can access that. These are the screenshots from other project from India. So these are already my speaker speak on that. One of the actually open education resources, one university foundation. This is one of the foundations where across the globe. So these are the from actually Africa, Asia, Europe, Middle East, North America, and Oceania. And these are the actually countries. They participate in this foundation open university, like this is one consortia. And across from India, almost you can see more than 13 organizations they join this consortia, and they enable and share their open education resources. So many universities offer the degree courses through this. So from actually this Nepal and Pakistan also, Islamia University from Bahalapur from Pakistan. These are two universities also joined there, and they offer the courses through this consortia site. Like conclusion, lots of the content are protected under copyright. But due to an open access movement, most of the authors share and distribute their work under CC license. Adopting a critical common license will boost OER and it will help to achieve knowledge for all. OER are going to play an essential role in quality education. OER content should be available in perpetuity because there is no, what you can say, once project is over, many times the content not available. So this actually somebody should take care on that, and that should be made available unpermanently. So it means future it should be useful and it should be preserved. There is still huge shortage of professional, vocational, and analytical skills. Thus, organizations such as the National Knowledge Commission, United Nations Development Program (UNDP), and UNESCO should extend constant support to providing OER and to protect OER. The OER are essential to equip young learners with new sets of occupational and life skills. OER initiatives serve diverse of learning communities and set to bridge knowledge gaps between the privileged and underprivileged communities. So this is my observation on OER. So I thanks to actually organizer and my moderator and SLA for giving me an opportunity to present before you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jadhav, for your enlightening presentation. Our next speaker is Dr. Madhusudan, who is currently serving as a professor in the Department of Library Information Science, University of Delhi, one of the most reputed and biggest universities in the country. He has been awarded with many honors like Best Teacher Award, Award for Excellence, Excellence in Research, P.V. Varghese Award, and many more. He has also worked as Deputy Dean of Academics and member of the Academic Council at the University of Delhi. Under his supervision, 11 PhDs, 24 MPhils, and 160 plus projects reports have been completed. He is one of the most cited authors from India in library information sciences. Professor Madhusudan, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nabi Hasan, and the SLA 2022 Annual Conference team. Hello, everyone. So my topic is open textbooks and uncharted territory of teachers and librarians in India. This is my contents. I'll discuss one by one. Education is now seen as empowering mechanism that enhances human values and accelerate the creation of knowledge. Quality education is vital for any nation's social and economic development. It assumes even greater importance for humanity. Inclusive education aims to meet unique needs of all students by removing barriers and enhancing the educational system's ability to reach out to all the students. This educational model gives more significant prospects for academic and social success for all students. UNESCO's Sustainable Development Goal 4, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, is the dream of the day. Textbooks are essential to educational process because they serve as a roadmap for achieving grade and subject-specific learning goals and a guidepost to growing educational attainments. High-quality textbooks contribute to improving quality and equity in education and ubiquitous teaching and learning resources in education. Dear friends, OER opportunities for sustainable growth in improving and access and quality education by enabling free use and repurposing of high caliber learning materials. This is possible when digital content is freely available for use and adoption. Increasing amount of OER can play a significant role in helping solve these problems by solving students and teachers with much improved access to quality educational resources. The open textbooks, as you know very well, the open textbooks are a kind of open educational resources which are flexible alternative to traditionally published textbooks. These are available for free as online versions and as low-cost printed versions too. These are digital resources granting users rights to reuse, copy verbatim, revision, adopt and edit, remix, combine with others, and redistribute, share with others. On the other side, the open textbooks are freely available with non-restricted licenses and access anywhere. Easy to search for terms and other information, more environment friendly, easier to move different pages and sections, the more customized to reading online convenience and portable, available to download and print various file formats, and solve the problems with high cost of textbooks, book shortages, and access to textbooks, as well as provide the capacity to meet the local teaching and learning needs better. In short, the OER is freely accessible, openly licensed documents and media which can use teaching, learning, assessment. Let us discuss with the open textbooks publishing formats and tools. Creating an open textbook is an opportunity to embrace a new way of thinking about the teaching and learning experience. Press books and LaTeX are the most commonly used publishing tools in open textbooks publishing. It's common for authors to write in Microsoft Word, and later on, it can be shared PDF broadly. On the other side, the GitBooks is the online platform to increase, create, and host books built using GitBook format. GitBook can also output content as a whole website, customized and extensible as an ebook in different formats like PDF, EPUB, or MOBI. Let us see how the OER movement in India, as the previous speakers already spoke much about the OER movement in India. Let me brief. In India, the call for the use of OER in 2007 by the National Knowledge Commission, NKC, to enable the development of a vibrant knowledge-based society. With the success of the National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, NPTEL, for engineering and basic sciences courses. In 2019, the government of India started the National Mission on Education through ICT, in short form NMEICT, to develop the country as a knowledge superpower. The aim was to create, adopt, and utilize OER by Indian institutions with the help of NROER, National Repository of OER, that was launched in 2013. Since its inception, the mission has been active in developing digital learning resources through a variety of projects for both graduate and postgraduate students in several disciplines. And for example, as my predecessors already discussed, e-Pathshala and so on and so forth. The NMEICT has officially established an open license policy to make all the content developed under OER project under CC BY-SA license, Creative Commons license. This policy announcement is in line with the Commonwealth of Learning UNESCO OER Paris Declaration that call upon all governments to release educational and research materials developed with public funds as OER. I'll discuss some of the notable OER initiatives of India. There are many, but these are prominent. The number one is e-PG Pathshala, is curriculum-based interactive e-content in 22,000 plus e-text, 19,000 plus videos, 3,200 plus experts, 30,000 plus quizzes, 70 subjects across all disciplines, 723 papers. This is an initiative of Ministry of Education under the NMEICT executed by University Grants Commission. The another prominent project that is e-Adhyayan, ebook platform to provide 700 plus ebooks for postgraduate courses under National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning. All ebooks are derived from EPG Pathshala courses. It also facilitates a playlist of video content. The another very prominent the project by Government of India is e-Gyankosh. Indira Gandhi National Open University, Delhi, launched in 2005 to store, index, preserve, distribute, and share digital learning resources to students to read ebooks anytime and anywhere. It has more than 38,000 plus ebooks freely available worldwide for 200 plus programs as of June 2022. IGNOU plans to adopt open license policy for converting e-Gyankosh into OER, and it is the first open university worldwide assumed the OER policy license. Let me give my suggestions. As you know, this is the OER movement, particularly open textbooks availability students in higher secondary schools education is satisfactory, but undergraduate and postgraduate courses are at an embryonic stage in India. However, access to textbooks in India has not improved adequately despite increasing access to the internet and smartphones and the so sophisticated gadgets, miniature gadgets. In that, I would like to give some suggestions for improvement of this. The first and foremost, the government, Ministry of Education, Government of India, in consultation with all the higher education departments of Indian states and union territories to implement the open license policy to make all content developed under the project as OER under Creative Commons 4.0 license. Set up a state level platform that will facilitate all stakeholders creation and sharing OER. Create suitable copyright license and licensing guidelines for creating open textbooks, that is the need of the hour, and release the material under explicit open Creative Commons license. The Indian government is considering mandating open access to publish publicly funded research projects. Of course, the textbook policymakers need not only understanding of education in terms of curriculum and subject matter, but they also need to be familiar with textbook writing, financing, production, publishing, distribution, and use of textbooks in other materials in classrooms. The encourage OER movement, particularly open textbook developments. There is a need for a good number of funds allotted for assessing the National Accreditation Council for colleges and universities in India. Of course, the developed principles to increase accessibility of open text by students is very important. Promote a standard-based approaches to information discovery, storage, and sharing. Demonstrate practical integrated information management solutions are very, very important.
Professor Madhusudan.
Institutions.
Yeah.
Cross-sectional and transnational cooperation in open textbooks, adequate the advantage offered by improved information infrastructure.
Professor Madhusudan,
yes,
we
sir.
have to take care of the time, please.
Libraries can offer this help supporting students' success, demonstrating library values of access and strategic collections of resources. Of course, libraries can also help institution meet its mission by reducing textbook cost and keep the door open expensive. To conclude, in the context of Indian higher education, OER is accepted and as any idea, but the implementation and usage are still far away. Economy needs knowledge, politics needs wisdom, and nations need expertise. All these found in books. So this my presentation tried to bridge the research gap on the usage and acceptance of OER in India and empowerment behind access to educational materials for free. And all schools and universities in India to create OER as a scholarly activity and encourage the college and university teachers and students to use OER in teaching, learning, which is the crying need of the hour. And finally, the government of India must and should start Indian Open Textbook Awards and the Open Educational Awards for Excellence to motivate the writers and also improve the open textbooks in India. Thank you very much, the SLA 2022 Annual Conference team, and particular thanks to Dr. Nabi Hasan for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Professor Madhusudan. It was such a wonderful presentation that people will really enjoy the content that you have shared. And I think all the presenters were excellent. And yeah, people will be very much benefited. So if the listeners have any question or comment, they can use the SLA platform for posting their comments, query, or questions. Or they can also send an email. These presentations will also be uploaded on the SLA platform. So don't worry about the presentations. So these will be available, and there may be some more content available regarding this session. So thank you very much once again, Dr. Arora, Professor Madhusudan, Dr. Jadhav, for sparing your time for SLA. We hope if it is possible for you to attend the SLA 2022 conference in person in Charlotte, North Carolina. But of course, these content which were delivered by these experts will be very useful for now and for later use as well for all the listeners. So with this, I would like to thank again SLA and all the speakers, and have a great time ahead, and goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.